On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu arrives in Dubai on brief stopover before Japan-Brazil trip. In business, World Trade Organization launches $50 million fund for women exporters. On the foreign scene, Ukraine's Zelensky to meet United States President after summit yields no ceasefire. In sport, the Tigers beat Tunisia to continue brilliant start to women's Afrobasket. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. President Bola Tinubu has touched down in Dubai for a short layover en route to his upcoming diplomatic engagement in Japan and Brazil. He will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Yokohama from August 20 to 22 before proceeding to Brasilia for bilateral talks and business forum from August 24 to 25. The trip underscores Nigeria's commitment to enhancing geopolitical alliance and economic partnership. Kaduna police have arrested a man found in possession of 25 million naira in suspected vote-buying money in the ongoing by-elections. The suspect admitted the cash was intended to sway voters during preliminary questioning. Authorities have launched further investigations to determine the scope and perpetrators behind the attempted electoral malpractice. In a related development, the Ogun State PDP chairman, Abayomi Tella, 2 party members and 2 INEC officials have been arrested in Peru over alleged possession of large sums of cash suspected to be meant for vote buying during the Remo federal constituency by-elections. While police sources say the suspects have given useful information about their roles in the alleged plot to bribe election officials, the PDP insists Tella's arrest at his hotel was a deliberate move to weaken the position and tilt the process in favor of the APC. Meanwhile, Governor Dakpo Abiodun voted at his polling unit in Iperu, commending INEC's preparedness, the smooth conduct of the poll, and the impressive voter turnout. In another development, accreditation and voting started early in Aguta and other parts of Anambra South Senatorial District as INEC officials arrived on time, with voter commending the smooth process. At Amaoji Primary School, which had over 1,000 registered voters, turnout was impressive, while at Governor Chukwuma Soludo's polling unit in Ofiyi Square, security agencies maintained calm. The senatorial by-election, triggered by the death of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, is holding alongside a state assembly contest in Onitsha 1, just months ahead of the Anambra's governorship poll in November. Now away from election matters to agriculture, where Nigeria's agricultural landscape is changing, and in the center of this transformation is a 3-letter word that has stirred debate across farms, markets, and places of worship: GMO, genetically modified organisms. While scientists hail it as a solution to hunger and climate change, some Nigerians still question its safety and alignment with their beliefs. But what do people who tilt the soil every day think? In this special report, Aniete Patrick takes us to the field to hear from the farmers themselves.
For decades, smallholder farmers in Nigeria have battled low yields, pest invasion, and unpredictable weather patterns. But now, a new seed variety genetically modified to resist pests and withstand drought is promising better harvest and higher income. That sentiment is echoed across farmlands in Kaduna, Benue, and Kano, where farmers say GMOs have not only boosted productivity but also reduced their operational costs. Ndaman Dantani, a farmer who has planted and harvested produce from GMO seeds, says it's cost-effective and reduced pesticide use. It has pest resistance, environmental sustainability, and longer shelf life for produce.
In other seeds, you'll be spending money on chemicals for spraying. But in this of GMO, you can't buy much of chemical for spraying.
According to the Director General of the National Biotechnologies Research and Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, one of the most pressing issues facing Nigeria today is how to feed a growing population in the face of mounting climate challenges. Scientists, researchers are working with governments to demystify biotechnology and foster dialogue about the safety, ethics, and benefits of GMO technology in agriculture.
We need to work hard in terms of providing food for our nation. And to provide food in our nation, we need to use science and technology. And to use science and technology, we need to give an insight of what is going on to produce what for the farmers to use.
Beyond profits, scientists like Dr. Rose Gidado of the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency points to broader benefits, less environmental damage, longer shelf life for produce, and reduced need for harmful chemicals.
In genetic engineering, there's a foreign DNA that you have to bring into the crop that you want to actually, the crop maybe that desires, of course, maybe it desires a new threat in it, especially insects and maybe pest resistance. You bring in that, identify the gene, maybe in a different species of your crop, maybe from sorghum. You can actually move gene from sorghum to maize and then vice versa.
But not everyone is convinced. Critics link GMO foods to health concerns like cancer and liver problems, claims that researchers firmly reject, insisting the crops undergo rigorous safety checks before approval.
We have asked many of them several times for risk assessments and they never provided it to us. And that's because the risk assessments that was used in Nigeria from information from NDMA is from the EFSA risk assessment, which is just for 2 years. And 2 years is not enough to evaluate the impact of GMOs on our health, on our environment, and also generally.
While some Nigerians say GMO produce is dangerous, this farmer bets to differ, saying he has eaten it as well as his family and they are fine.
In terms of consumption, just as I said during the time of a maize interview, it is palatable, it's consumable, it has no harm. I have eaten it for several years. I'm still like before.
The narrative about genetically modified organism in Nigeria is that it is not safe and it causes ailments like cancers and the like. I took the time to get into a farm that has the BPR cowpea. As you can see beside me here, we have this produce coming out so nice and well. And this is to tell you that this is actually aimed at food production and giving farmers a good run for their money. I am Annie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
Still talking agric, Goruba, the dune palm, is regarded as the skull fruit, known in northern Nigeria as an excellent brain superfood. Though it is originated from Egypt, it is now cultivated and domesticated in Nigeria. Goruba is now used for different purposes, ranging from tea to traditional medicine. Correspondent Idris Jibrin takes a look at this fruit as a rich source of sugar, protein, and fats.
In Kano, dune fruit, otherwise known as goruba, is brought from Guru in Yobe State and other states across northern Nigeria.
In Kano, dune fruit, otherwise known as goruba, is brought up from Guru in Yobe State and other states across northern Nigeria. Goruba is actually brought from Guru, Machina and several other local governments in Yobe State, and many people do buy goruba to take care of their health-related problems.
The fruit is a popular component of tea preparation consumed for refreshment, regulation of body weight, and blood glucose.
Dune fruit tea is used to regulate blood pressure, body weight, and body glucose. And at the moment, several people used to come here to either buy the tea or the goruba itself.
For several years, many youth in Kano are involved in the business of dune fruits. They sell it in shops and and along major streets in Kano State. They say the trade has been paying off, especially because it's used as traditional medicine which cure various diseases.
We do sell goruba here, and there are many of us who earn a living through the business. It has helped us to take care of our several problems, which include helping our parents.
Experts say the use of goruba, either consumed as tea or raw fruit, has proven to be beneficial to people with blood-related diseases. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
Now away from agriculture to the health sector, where mental illness is still widely stigmatized. Too often it is seen as a spiritual weakness or madness rather than a medical condition requiring care. From academic pressure and unemployment to social media stress and insecurity, more and more Nigerian youths are battling mental health challenges, often in silence. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, brings us details of this report.
With over 60% of the population under 25, the nation's greatest asset is one of its most vulnerable. Nigerian younger people are facing a storm of stressors: unstable education systems, high unemployment, rising insecurity, and crushing social expectation, often without emotional support or access to mental health care. According to National Bureau of Statistics, youth unemployment stands at over 40%, leaving many with a bleak outlook on the future.
It's the genetic factor, the issue of inheritance. One could inherit the risk or the propensity to develop mental health problem from his or her parents. So hereditary factors play a very important role. Then we have environmental factors too. Environmental factors can be the issue of drug use.
Social media adds another layer of strain. While it connects, it also fuels unrealistic comparisons, cyberbullying, and addiction, all of which can trigger or worsen mental health issues.
That is, drug misuse it causes mental hurt, and also parental effect. So that also can cause a mental hurt. And
a lot of people graduated, and then there's no job, nothing. And then the people like me, I have about 5 graduates, which is my son, and I'm still the one that is feeding them.
Economic factor, the situation of the economy now, especially in this country we are, is very bad. That alone can also contribute to bring about mental health, sanity in youths.
Despite the odds, change is happening from youth-led mental health clubs in schools to NGOs offering free therapy. A quiet evolution is building. There is no health without mental health, and yet so many young Nigerians are falling through the cracks. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out. A list of verified mental health resources is available on websites. Mental health is health, and Nigerian young people deserve to thrive, not just to survive. I am Sadia Yakubu reporting for Global Television.
Let's now head to Imo State, where Governor Hope Uzodinma has charged local government officials in the state to strengthen grassroots institutions as a means of driving real change and sustainable development. He made the call at the opening ceremony of a 3-day retreat on public sector in Owerri. Amarachi Ibe reports.
The retreat gathered council chairmen, administrators, and grassroots stakeholders from across the state for 3 days of intensive training and dialogue. With the theme, Enhancing Local Government Governance for Sustainable Development, the program is organized by the Progressive Institute in partnership with the Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Declaring the event open, Governor Hope Uzodinma urged participants to develop practical strategies that will make the local government more effective in meeting the needs of the people.
So we have to establish clear goals and objectives for public organizations and aligning resources to achieve them. Key factors such as accountability, transparency, efficiency, and integrity are essential for achieving effective public sector governance.
Director General of the Progressive Institute, Dr. Olarewaju Adebayo, described the retreat as a critical step in equipping officials with modern governance skills for improved grassroots service delivery.
Discuss issues such as procurement, public financial management, public service rules, policy process and communication, and today we discussed lawmaking process and revenue generation, all aimed at ensuring that our elected leaders perform optimist towards developing the states. And this is a manifestation, sir, of your character.
In an address of welcome, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Ruby Emele, commended Governor for prioritizing the professional development of local government officials.
Your Excellency, we can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough. I believe by the time they are done with this, they will go home with more capacity, increased productivity, and Imo State will be better for it.
The retreat continues with a focus on boosting grassroots governance and is expected to produce actionable strategies for stronger local institutions in Imo State. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, Ukraine's Zelensky to meet United States President after U.S. summit yields no ceasefire. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back from that break. And now to business news. The World Trade Organization, WTO, and the International Trade Center has launched a $50 million Women Exporters in the Digital Economy Fund, with Nigeria chosen as one of the 4 pilot countries alongside Jordan, Mongolia, and the Dominican Republic. Unveiling the initiative in Abuja, WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala announced that 146 Nigerian women entrepreneurs from sectors such as fashion, tourism, agriculture, IT, and manufacturing will receive grants and training to expand their economic businesses. The program, backed by the Nigerian Ministry of Industry, is expected to boost women's participation in global market, build export capacity, and contribute to Nigeria's recent economic growth in foreign trade earnings, which hit 77.4 trillion naira in 2024. Kano, the commercial city in northern Nigeria, has been a trade hub for grains and textiles since the colonial era. Today, the resilient shoemaking business in Kofar Wambai market employs hundreds and thousands of people working at various stages of the manufacturing process. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin takes a first-hand look at the business in action.
Inside Kofar Wambai market in Kano lay sheets of leather in plain sight waiting to be processed into footwears of various sizes and designs. The art of shoemaking is known to be an ancient trade in Kano, dating as far back as the 11th century. On daily basis, hundreds of youth, including women, spend time on various stages of shoemaking, such as cutting the leather, applying gum to leather materials, and shaping the different animal skin. Leather materials dyed locally in different colors are used to make footwears of different sizes, from relatively simple to very complex. Bags and other leather materials are also made here.
I have been doing this business for several years, and we do produce all kinds of shoes, bags, and other leather materials.
Ali Sidi is one of the shoemakers. Inherited from his father, Ali has been benefiting from the trade for the past 35 years and is now passing it to his children.
For 35 years, I have been making shoes in this market. I learned it from my father, and I'm now teaching my children.
Over the years, shoemakers in Kano say sales have been good, but the insufficient supply of raw materials, inadequate capital, and lack of government intervention are threatening their production capacity.
Sincerely, we started this business from Kurmi Market, and with the advent of foreign shoes, we migrated to this place, but we are now threatened by the lack of government intervention.
With increasing opportunity in the trade, there is no doubt that more improved quality footwears can be produced only when importation of foreign shoes is completely banned. From Kano, Idris Juprin reporting for Global Television News.
On the foreign scene, President of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Julius Maada Bio, has reaffirmed his call for the return of Sahel countries that exited the regional bloc amidst political turmoil. His appeal comes amidst growing regional instability, with the Sahel state having left following governance disputes. Bio emphasized unity as essential for addressing terrorism, poverty, and climate threats. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will travel to Washington on Monday for talks with United States President Donald Trump after Trump's high-profile summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska ended without a ceasefire in Ukraine. While Trump described the 3-hour meeting with Putin as progress, both leaders dismissed calls for a temporary truce, instead stressing the need for a broader peace deal that incorporates Russia's interests. Zelensky, who has been excluded from the Alaska summit, said he held a long and substantive phone call with Trump and will use the White House meeting to push for concrete actions. And talking sports, Nigeria's The Tigers delivered a stunning performance at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket Championship, thrashing defending champions Tunisia to announce themselves as serious contenders for the title. The Nigerian side combined ferocious defense with blistering offense, shutting down Tunisia's key players while pushing them with fast breaks and three-point shootings. The Tigers' next match will be against Cameroon on Sunday, a fixture that will determine the seeding for the knockout stages of the competition. Away from basketball to athletics, where the Athletics Federation of Nigeria has named 26 athletes to represent the country at the Confederation of African Athletics Region 2 Senior Athletics Championship, which will take place in Accra, Ghana from August 18 to 19. The Nigerian contingent will compete across 20 events, including men's and women's sprint hurdles, relays and middle distances, as well as field events such as long jump, triple jump, javelin, shot put and high jump. Officials say the selection reflects a balance of experience and youth, with the athletes expected to consolidate Nigeria's dominance in West Africa's athletics ahead of the continental and global meets later this year. As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our headlines. On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu has touched down in Dubai for a short layover en route to his upcoming diplomatic engagement in Japan and Brazil. In business, we brought to you that the World Trade Organization and the International Trade Center have launched a $50 million Women Exporters in Digital Economy Fund, with Nigeria chosen as one of the 4 countries alongside Jordan, Mongolia and Dominican Republic. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will travel to Washington on Monday for talks with United States President Donald Trump after Trump's high-profile summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska ending without a ceasefire. And in sport, you heard that Nigeria's The Tigers delivered a stunning performance at the 2025 AfroBasket Championship, thrashing defending champions Tunisia to announce themselves as serious contenders for the global title. And that's it for Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching. Good afternoon.